Oh, no more count. I just realized what's going on with this. It's like my head looks bigger than normal. I put Zoom on the webcam and not the chatting thing. I digitally zoomed the webcam last Angry Bunch we had on Friday night. That's okay. I've just got a big head. We'll stay there. Abigail, I feel like you cheat a little bit to get the first. That was 15 minutes ago. Before I started, Invisible Chicken, hello to you. Whoosh, end of the weekend. Had an action-packed afternoon with Abigail upgrading my PC for me. I got home and had monitor trouble, and I just swapped monitors, and yeah, so I'm playing with my new sexy PC now. Good Spirit, hello to you, and I hope your morning is a good one. See, still always get that wrong. Bit of light outside. In about a month or so, it'll be light for the whole first hour of the live stream. But Abigail, the monitor I swapped to is a newer one, is a bigger one, is a higher resolution one that I bought at the start of lockdown to go with my work laptop. I used a bunch of good stuff for my work laptop, actually. I should swap it all for my personal computer, better keyboard and mouse and whatnot. But so I don't know. There was just something weird about this monitor that wasn't recognizing HDMI. I don't know. It was stupid. Anyway, I'll probably have to fuck around with it tomorrow to see if it'll work with my work laptop. And if not, I just write it off and maybe even get another monitor for my work laptop. But anyway. So it's done 2 of the 3 tests I need to do on it so far, the new computer. The first one was just rendering a normal video with no effects applied, and that seemed to go quite fast. Like it took about, I don't know, a minute, maybe 2 to render a 6-minute video, which was quite fast. And then I did another video and applied a bunch of effects to it. And I'm not sure it's doing that any faster. It's like a 10-minute video with a lot of effects applied, and pre-upgrade would easily have taken an hour. And this is very unscientific, I have to say. I never did a scientific comparison, but it still takes a while to render a video with a lot of effects applied, essentially. But the real test will be at some point, maybe even tonight. I have to shoot on 4K video and see if I can edit in 4K because I couldn't prior to upgrade, because just 4K video was just too much information for the my old computer to process in real time, and it would stutter, and it wasn't possible to edit in 4K. So that will be the next and most important experiment, because I will be miffed if I cannot edit in 4K. So I still have to do one cocktail video for this week. Abigail, is my video software taking full advantage of the GPU? Are there settings in the software for it? Probably. I could look. I could absolutely look. And I didn't look before I started rendering. I'm not sure if there's anything like that in the software. Corel Video Studio. But I will I will look when I do the 4K to see what I can do. I know there's an interesting thing some people do is use like it's like online editing, and I don't know precisely how it works, but basically you render a lower resolution uh, version of your video on your PC, which you can edit and render quite quickly. But you've uploaded the same files to an online, like 4K versions, very high definition version of the files to an online server farm. And when you do the editing in the software uh, at lower resolution, so a lower powered PC can do it, and then you go, okay, render, and then it communicates with the online server farm and says, here's the commands, render the video like this. And apparently it can do it. Very interesting concept. I don't know exactly how it works. But like I said, at some point, we'll might even do it. I got to do a Harvey Wallbanger, because it's Harvey Wallbanger Day next weekend. I want to make a Harvey Wallbanger. In fact, I'm going to make a special Harvey Wallbanger, not a bog standard one. So could even do that tonight, actually. Get changed, put on my cocktail making gear, and shoot in 4K this Oefening and see what happens. If it works, and there's no reason it wouldn't, apart from me being cursed, then there's all sorts of things, because it's pretty fucking good video camera I use. Even it's I know it's quite a few years old now, but it was a pretty good camera, and I have no urge to replace it because it's quite good, and it can do some pretty neat things. And if it gets staged like, yeah, I can edit really well in 4K, then I can potentially experiment with all manner of things, which, is something I can look forward to. Something to look forward to. See what happens. What? And yeah, can shoot at a very high frame rate, assuming the PC can handle it, and yeah, shoot at the high resolution and do effects and all these great shenanigans. So we'll see how that goes, essentially. Chris, you've had a long night. Yes, it's now early morning for you, I assume. Been partying? Halloween style? Is that what's been going on? Which is fair, that's what you've been doing. Or if you've been working, what's been going on? What's been going on? That's a big thing. The big goings-ons here in Australia, the Queensland election results, Labor retain power, the Greens did well. I think they'll be happy. I think the LNP vote was very flat, and in absolutely fantastic news, racist demagogues, One Nation, their vote just cratered, which was great. Oh, the other big news, Australia-wide, no new cases, community transmission of COVID-19 for the first time since June. That's a fucking landmark. No new cases across the whole country. We have the standard thing where people coming back from overseas, there's always a couple of them test positive when they come in and they go straight into quarantine. So, yeah. Oh, the US had more than 100,000 cases in a single day. Yikes. Yikes. So there's probably a lot of close call seats that haven't been decided. Is there no? Maybe ABC, Anthony Green breaking it down. That's probably where I should go. ABC. abc.net.au. Let me see. Where's the Queensland results? Surely they'd be somewhere prominent. No? Where are they? News. Jim Chalmers says it's satisfying. Ooh, okay. So here's the predictions. Confirmed. So far, 47 seats was a majority, and you could form government. And no one was actually, all the smart money was on no one having a majority. Turns out smart money was wrong. Labor have so far apparently claimed 50 seats and are predicted to win 52. The LNP have won 31 seats and predicted to win 34, and 7 going to others and independents. So I think I'd love to see who the others are. ALP, LNP, ALP, LNP, ALP, LNP. Who are the others? Okay. Katter's Australia Party retained both their seats with an increased swing towards them. They are very popular in their little heartland. So 2 of the 7 are Katter. Greens retained the seat of Maiwar, which is a Brisbane metro seat. One Nation did retain the 1 seat they had, but their vote was shit everywhere else. So that's 4. Noosa is apparently just an independent. That's 5. Greens gained south of Brisbane. That's 6. Oh, there's a third Katter Australia Party. So they've actually got 3 seats again with an increased swing. So 3 hyper-conservative independents. No, actually, count One Nation. 4 hyper-conservative independents. 2 Greens, so 2 progressive independents, and 1's independent. I have no idea who they are. So there you go. Oh, Chris, okay, still protesting your house since that guy got killed. Okay, fair enough. Yes, Abigail, if Trump loses, it will be a sort of okay end to the year democracy-wise, yes. Oh, and you, Chris, you got told you'll run out of hospital space in a month if you don't do lockdown. Yes, that will be a nation, and that's when the shit hits the fan in the US, when the hospitals are overwhelmed and people can't get treated. That's when the death rate spikes really sharply. Because the people who need to go on ventilators, which is a small percentage, like less in normal circumstances, less than 10% of the people who get COVID have to go on ventilators. Probably less than 5%, actually. I don't actually know that figure, but it's comparatively low. If they can't get a ventilator, they just die. That's it. They die. Now, and then there's intensive care, anywhere up to 20 or even 30% of the people who contract COVID need significant hospital care. If they can't get that, the likelihood of them dying increases sharply. So that's why if the hospitals get overwhelmed, the death rate fucking spikes. Yes, Abigail, I definitely got your meaning. This has been a pretty shit year, but if you look at the New Zealand election result, the Queensland election result, and if Trump goes down, that's kind of okay. Yeah, that feels a bit better. That's kind of okay. Because you reckon Washington? I'm okay. This is, as an outsider, I am quite intrigued with the American independent spirit, the degree to which government mandated lockdowns can work. Now, New York, if I remember rightly from earlier in the year, when they were virtually the only place in the US that got smacked super hard, I think their lockdown measures were basically enforced. But when you look at, seriously, in the next, if I was being charitable, I'd say couple of months, realistically, in the next month, things are going to be disastrous across the US. And so the number of places that are maybe not going to behave very nicely at the concept of a government mandated lockdown, I don't know what's going to happen. So Chris, they say bars shut, restaurants do takeout, or they lose their license. Yeah. But I forget where I was at, but I do remember the story. Like, one state was basically shutting down most businesses, and hairdressers weren't allowed to open, and some Trumpo opened a hairdressing salon and got shut down, fined a huge amount of money, and then fucking violent dickheads showed up like, this place is going to be open, you can't stop us. And it was all sorts of disturbing. So I expect scenes like that far and wide if there are significant nationwide shutdowns, which I don't see how that's avoidable. I mean, when this disease really gets out of control, you can't function. You can't function with just so many people getting sick and ending up in hospital and whatnot. Ooh, I just remembered I have to check something. Just a second. I'm checking my ice. What's it doing? Aha, I think I was right this time. Excellent. Last time, I made my magic clear ice. I didn't let it freeze long enough, and it actually only made a little bit. But that's fine. I got a little bit. And I made some more, and I think I let it freeze for the right amount of time. It just takes ages to sort of thaw out and melt enough to come out of the cup that it's in, because I can't squeeze it or twist it like you do with an ice cube tray. If I had more freezer space and I wasn't so cheap, you can get these big specialty ice molds that will do a perfectly clear either sphere or large cube. And in fact, again, if I from watching videos on it, I learned a bit of a hack. If I had more freezer space, I could make perfectly clear ice spheres. But I don't really have the freezer space for it. What you need is basically to make a big thing of perfectly clear ice, you need a little esky and take the lid off it, and then it'll freeze directionally and blah, blah, blah. What I have is these molds that make spheres of ice. And there's a little fiddly thing where you can do, if you sit that in and have it not touch the bottom and sort of propped up, it'll freeze, and it's a thing. It's a thing that'll work. I've explained that very clearly. I won't be taking any questions. It's as clear as I can make it. So here's a gravity thing. Someone said New Zealand and Queensland results were an improvement. I had to remind myself, it's the same. It's not worse. It's just the same. Well, the thing is, have been living in a world for a couple of years now where it just feels like good things don't happen anymore. Evil, lying, vacuous people were winning repeatedly in quite cruel and awful ways. So one less incidence of that happening feels kind of good. Kinda. So who's Jim Chalmers? I just have to look this up. Federal Labor is celebrating the collapse of support for One Nation in Queensland. 7% swing away from it. Clive Palmer did not trouble scorers by the end of the night, with his United Australia Party not picking up any seats. And he spent a fortune again. And he claims his strategy in the federal, and I don't think he's this smart, right? But he claims his strategy in the federal election was to stop Labor from winning. By basically, a lot of people were pissed off with the Liberal Party, and a lot of them would have gone to Labor in the absence of another alternative. So Palmer put candidates everywhere and said, like, yeah, you know, we're the free, and used all that fucking Trump language, because Clive Palmer is a vile, disgusting shit stain. And then he just directed all of his votes, which, you know, were basically protest votes from Liberal parties. He directed them straight back to the Liberal Party. So a vote for Palmer was very much a vote for the Liberal Party. After the fact, you could look at that and say that happened. No one said that before the election. And I honestly just don't think Clive Palmer's that smart. I think he's a fucking piece of shit. So you're saying, Chris, in Idaho, filling up beds when we need them most. And people still fighting about whether masks work or not. Yeah, and there's basically no credible argument against masks, and as you know, the people who protest against restrictions against masks are just fucking scum, basically. Just self-absorbed fucking rock ape scum. I hate them so much. And I remember one of them going like, oh, why do you need me to wear a mask? Doesn't yours work? And it's like, yeah, I get that you are like straight up allergic to science, you fucking shit stain. But what the science actually is wearing masks protects other people. If you're in an environment where you're going to be exposed and you're wearing a mask, the mask provides some small amount of protection to you, but only small. But what it does is if you're positive, if you've got the virus and you're wearing a mask, it radically reduces the chance of you infecting someone else. So that's so this cunt saying, what do you want me to wear a mask? Isn't yours working? No, you fucking piece of shit. That's exactly how it's meant to work. If you are sick, you wearing a mask is quite a significant protection to other people. Wearing a mask around a sick person is a small protection to you, but sick people wearing masks is a significant protection to everyone. And sick people and not sick people both wearing masks is a really good protection to the not sick people. It's not foolproof. It's not 100%, but it's protection. And it's just like, I fucking hate the people who protest the restrictions, people who don't want to wear a mask. I fucking hate them so much. So much. Chris, that's why you have your N95 respirator and mask, because other people won't wear theirs. Well, that's the interesting thing. an N95 does provide more protection for you, but it provides less protection for other people if you have the virus, because the way that works, it does actually let your breath out unfiltered. But yeah, in your situation, I completely understand. It's a completely legitimate call on your part because it does provide more protection for you. Yeah, fuck these people. Fuck these people and their bullshit and their conspiracies and their just general fuckery. I mean, like there was a quite aggressive and somewhat violent protest in Melbourne like a day or two before the restrictions started being lifted. And they just look like such cunts because they were so aggressive and so violent. And a bunch of them got arrested. A bunch of them got pepper sprayed. A bunch of them got like $5,000 fines. And it's just like, because you're protesting something that's about to finish, you fucking pieces of shit. Oh my God. It's just, these fucking people, quite honestly. I'm absolutely at a loss for dealing with these people. It's just like, they're just so fucking awful. It's just the fucking worst. Oh, for reals though, they just fucking suck. Oh. So because your mask lets the filtered air out, respirator does some filtering but less. But yeah, no, dude, I'm absolutely not judging you. In your context, the fact that you need the protection because these other assholes won't do anything, that's an absolutely valid choice to make. Because it is providing more protection for you around fuckers who won't do a goddamn thing. So fuck it. Yeah. No, I think you're doing the right thing. Here, I wouldn't make a big scene, but if someone wanted to wear an N95 mask here, where everyone's wearing masks, I'd have a little word with them about why that's not the best option. But it's a completely different situation. So in your case, man, I'm 100% on your side. Yeah, I have the cloth mask or the disposable masks wear when I go out. So that was the other thing. Going to see Abigail today, hanging out for a couple of hours while Abigail did really technical stuff that I could not contribute to at all. And we kept sort of saying, this is an awkward thing, like Abigail talking to herself out loud to what was happening and being worried that I was bored and stuff because I might have zoned out once or twice. But that was my first taking advantage of the rules. I can visit someone else's house. Up until really recently, I couldn't do that and haven't been able to do that for months. Yeah, that was kind of fun and even exciting, going out and visiting and being in a different environment with different people. I mean, I've been really happy at home with my family, but yeah, actually going out and being in a different environment with different people, that was a thing. That was a thing. So now I have to have Abigail over here and make some cocktails to repay for the labor involved. Have to explore. We make some Star Trek themed one. Oh no, Abigail. So this is the thing. You kept apologizing for not making it more entertaining, but it was nice. It was just nice being out. There was a nice view from your place, and just being able to talk. Like I said, even though you did have to focus on the computer, we were still talking, and it was good. It was great. Actually, I had to look at. I took a photo. Where is it? What does it look like? Oh yeah, it looks good. Oh, actually, that's a good picture. I'm putting that on Instagram. I took a picture from where Abigail lives, or how you see the city skyline from there. Yeah, I think I'll put that on Instagram. Not now, but I will. Yeah, Chris, human interaction. What a thing it is. Yeah. Yes, the new computer RGB. Because our original plan was just to use the box, which was a plain black box that my existing computer was in, and put the new parts in. But then Abigail said, "Oh, look, I've got this." And because then testing it, it has the RGB, like the colored lights on the processor and whatnot. And I'd be ashamed to lock them in the box. Oh, look, Abigail's going, "I've got this case that's got a glass thing on it and the fans in front. Do you want that one?" And so, yes. So now I have this sexy, brightly colored light computer, which is pretty specky. Safa, good evening. Oh, you went and saw your brother at Albury. That's nice. Helly and hello to you, Kirsten. Yes, Stella. Can see the green. I basically fixed that, so the webcam shows green now. And I should stress, I fixed it by following suggestions from Megaleech. So yes, little things. Well, little things. The green's a little thing. The upgrading computer is a big thing. So I'm looking forward to the experiment. I'm going to shoot something in 4K, maybe tonight, maybe another night. 2 different shades of green. Yes, it's just fabulous. Chris, you're a Mac guy. Just go and buy the computer. No crazy lights. Well, I've got I've got the crazy lights on my computer for the first time, and it's nice. It's very pretty. It's sexy. It's sexy. So it's all good. It works. It seems very efficient. And I had a weird problem with a stupid old monitor that's behind me now. Don't know what its fucking problem is. Although I have had that monitor for a long time. I don't know if it's just not compatible with newer things. I'm going to see if I can get it to work with this work laptop tomorrow. And if not, I guess I'm going out and buying another monitor. It's weird because that monitor works. It worked with my older computer. But anyway. Delta Cloud. Sean Connery was a fucking terrible wife beater, in fact. So yes, Diane Cilento, who's married to Connery from 62 to 73. He physically and mentally abused her in jealous rages. Okay, she thinks there was a class problem. Connery was working class and she was the daughter of 2 wealthy doctors. And he was like twice her size. And he has denied it. In 1965, he told Playboy, "I don't think there's anything particularly wrong in hitting a woman, though I don't recommend you do it in the same way that you hit a man." And in 93, in Vanity Fair, he said, "There are women who take it to the wire. That's what they're looking for. The ultimate confrontation. They want a smack." And he says those comments are taken out of context. But yeah, I actually think her story is more plausible. Yes. Sorry, Chris. Sean Connery died. Yes. Delta, you like his death. Look, I'm not going to ignore Connery's legacy altogether. I just think it's important to confront these things. And like I said, I'm putting it out there, he denied it ever happened. So I don't think his denial has a lot of oh God, here's a fun article heading: "The day Sean Connery almost killed Barbara Walters." It's probably an extended. Barbara Walters pressed him, and this person describing it said, "Connery tenses like a lion, holding Barbara's eyes with his cruel, steely gaze. He responds, 'I haven't changed my opinion. Sometimes women just won't leave things alone. Then I think it's absolutely right.'" Okay, and that's all just editorializing. That's in terms of assessing the truth of the situation, that's of no value at all. But yeah, I honestly don't think his denial has any credibility at all. Stella, you had to work on your day off. God damn it. Driving home, massive flash flooding. Oh, yeah, definitely. If there's anything cool on the way home, show us. Definitely. We love that. Shannon, good evening. Yeah, Abigail, whereas you never meet your heroes. My big thing is never have heroes. Admire and respect people and enjoy their work. But the idea of elevating someone to a position above human, and I'm not saying that's what you do, but I think it's what a lot of people do. Elevating someone to a higher level than human is a big fucking mistake, because everyone's human and everyone does bad things, and it really fucking fucks up that like really out of control hero worship is just a bad thing. There's nothing good about it. Oh yeah, that would be interesting, Stella. If there'd been enough rain, there'd be water in the Salt Lake since we saw it the other night. Be looking very different. Oh yeah, Shannon, we did talk about the Queensland election results. Nice, really. Labor with a comfortable majority. The Liberals, their vote was very flat. The Greens will be happy. Any decent human will be happy that One Nation's vote cratered, which is just, you love to see it. So yeah, all in all, good. Honestly, I think Queensland Labor are shit, but the LNP are just super shit. So yeah, it's all shades of whatever. And look, maybe, I don't know if it's going to get through the thick heads of the Labor power brokers. Their rather vicious attacks on the Greens are not working for them. And if they were at all rational, they would see we probably have to work towards some sort of cooperation with the Greens, or at least listening and, where appropriate, making concessions. If they just continue with the incredibly aggressive posture towards the Greens, I just think in the long term, that's only going to hurt Labor. I don't think it's going to hurt the Greens. I think it's going to hurt Labor. So I think they need to get considerably smarter. I don't know if that's going to happen. Who knows? The future is a far and distant and mysterious land. Yeah. Safa, Jackie Trad lost her seat to a Green, and I have no real opinion on that myself. I think it will be funny how much Friendly Geordies will lose his shit over it. He's bound to have been losing his shit over it because he's really pumping up Jackie Trad. And again, the stuff he was saying about her, not necessarily wrong. About she had actually just been very effective against the LNP. And so the angry LNP people, and through Murdoch, just channeled non-stop smear against her. But I just still think it'd be funny with Friendly Geordies losing his shit. Shane, you reckon you'd love to see the Greens have some more power, although not all of it, so they would take it more seriously. Yeah, I mean, I would approve of a future where Labor had to work with the Greens rather than fighting with them, had to work with them. As in fact, Julia Gillard did federally. Well, the Greens weren't that big a deal. It was a couple of Conservative independents that she had to get on board. Yes, Safa Murdoch does control all the Queensland papers and most of the national papers. And yes, that is a very good point, Shannon. Not taking Geordie seriously because he's friends with a fuckwit like Isaac Butterfield. It's where he falls down very badly in the past, doing things like praising Jordan Peterson. And yes, I don't really want to speak for someone else, but I don't think I'm going out on a limb to say that I think if you were to bring up concepts like intersectional politics and taking into account racial issues and gender issues in politics, young Shanks would be quite derisive. It doesn't seem to be his thing. So he seems to have a big blind spot. I mean, in terms of class awareness and being pro-union and stuff, my views are extremely close to his. It's just that, I think you're seeing some troubling warning signs with the stuff like, as I said, praising Jordan Peterson and being strangely popular with bigoted right-wing types. Speaking of Queensland, I look at the Jim Chalmers, who's quoted in this ABC story. He was Labor's shadow treasurer at the federal level. That's how bad federal Labor is. I don't even know who the shadow treasurer is. Jim Chalmers. Okay. Oh, Pauline Hanson and her chief of staff, James Ashby, blamed a lack of media coverage of their campaign for the party's poor showing. Not that they're just evil fucking shit and people maybe started to somewhat wake up to it. He goes, One Nation's always traditionally done very well in the regions. You've had no cameraman, there's no schnappers for newspaper out here, he told ABC. ABC's pretty fat down there in Brisbane, but you do nothing in the region. And then the next line in the ABC coverage is, the public broadcaster's footprint and reach in regional Queensland has not changed since the last election. Oh, God, James Ashby's such a fucking piece of shit. Of course, anyone involved with One Nation is an unmitigated piece of shit. Just absolute fucking filth. I don't pay enough attention to Isaac Butterfield to know just that, he's just... I love there's one particular guy, a left-wing agitator, who ragging on Isaac Butterfield, and Butterfield goes, "Oh, he says I'm a Nazi," and the guy goes, "No, I don't say you're a Nazi. I just say you're not funny. You're just what the fuck, man." So yeah, yes, don't. That whole blokey thing is like, yeah, okay, fellas, for sure. You know, you do that. Yeah, why not? Whatever. Yes. So it's just like I have to admit, I just don't expend a lot of energy on it. So it is what it is, I guess. So que sera sera is what my mother said to me. Whatever will be, will be. So yeah, I don't know. So I mean, you know, what's next in politics? Actually, I want to look. Election dates, Australia. Oh, that didn't help in terms of a Google search. Because we've just had ACT. Future election dates, Australia. Oh, god damn it. Remember Quexit? No, I really don't. What the fuck are you talking about? 5 reasons you should not take your eyes off the Queensland elections. Well, okay. Now I want to know what the fuck they're talking about. It's on the SBS news site. Queensland, blah, blah, blah. After Queensland lost the federal election last year, for good reasons. Despite widespread predictions Labor would win May 29 in federal election, the coalition had a miracle victory thanks in part to Queensland. Oh, okay, so that was the joke. That was actually forcing Queensland to not be part of Australia. Rah, 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 rah. That was just silly. I'll go out on a limb and say when people said that after the last federal election, that was just silly. Annette, hello! Making lots of tasty food all day in your fancy machine. Nice, nice, nice. Third Singapore sling. Excellent. Kirsten's been making tasty food in the, was it the sous vide thingy? Daria. Oh, no, Daria. I was just thinking like, well, which state has the next election? Is it Victoria? Is it, I don't know. Who is it? Oh, yeah, Safra, I wasn't even thinking federally because that's way down the line. We only had a federal election last year. Must be Victoria next. WA, Daria, you think? Yeah, maybe. Oosh. Maybe I should make, well, actually, maybe we should do Angry Bunch. And maybe I should make my blah, 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 Harvey Wallbanger cocktail and shoot it in 4K to see if I can edit it on my fancy new machine. Right. Visible Chicken trying to get light rail to your part of the world. Oh, still building up population. Nice, nice, nice. Safi, you think it's WA or SA? And Vicky's 2022, that far down. See, this one, I just don't know. I was wondering. We shall see what we see. Yes, Kirsten, the local council elections were recent. Also mandatory, yes. Oh, Invisible Chicken, you don't want light rail. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, so Angry Bunch. Link. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Alrighty. Oh, and I should put it in Facebook for Shannon. Okay. Well, let's go. All right, put that there, put that there, put that there. Anyone who wants to join on cam can do so with that link that I just shared. Oh, yes, that's right. I remember that, Kirsten. You had to argue with the Electoral Commission that you had actually moved, and that's why you didn't vote in the local council elections. Tech Monkey. Ah, my Tech Monkey. As there's no sound from you, Abigail. No, fixing that.
I had my microphone muted.
That's okay. You had to cough a few times anyway, so that's all good.
Yeah.
So how have you been in the last couple of hours since I saw you?
Well, in that time, no.
Yeah.
I've just been that upgrade and carting all those boxes and everything. I'm fine. It's just, you know, the end of a day of like a couple of hours work.
That's all the energy.
It's a bit.
Yeah.
So I've just
that's
been
all the energy. Yeah. No, that's fair.
Yeah.
That is absolutely fair. So yes, but yeah. Well, now I think I'll make my Harvey Wallbanger video and I'll shoot it in 4K, and then I'll edit it tomorrow to see what it's like.
Yeah, I'm keen to see some results.
Yeah. And Kirsten.
Hey,
Hello.
Kirsten.
Hello. I need to set up properly.
Getting yourself settled. Nice. So for the upgrade, we were messing about with stuff for a couple of hours, I guess.
Yeah. Because we didn't just upgrade your computer, we put it into a new case.
Yes, transmogrified it into a new case, yes.
Yeah. It's debatable which one would have taken longest. I think it's like not having to take the old motherboard out of your old case. And
True. Saved a bit of time, yeah.
Saved a bit of time, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it took about an hour plus some dicking around. But yeah, it was an honest couple of hours work, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, so I might share a picture of what the sexy new glass-sided case looks like with all the coloured lights.
Oh, it's so pretty.
It's pretty. Just trying to think what email account's on this laptop. That one. Okay, cool. What have you been up to, Kirsten?
Just making things and shopping for food. We finally got a cabinet so that we can store our food. Because did I tell you how the kitchen cupboards in this apartment are mostly fake news?
Oh, wow. They're fake.
Really?
So there are 3 cupboards, and all of the top cupboards in the kitchen you can't actually use because they're too high, and then 2 of them are just for show. Like
oh my god,
they've got things in them that make them fake news. So we thought that there was a decent amount of storage, and we opened the cupboard today. We moved in. We were like, this sucks.
No.
So we had to go to IKEA and buy a little cabinet, and now I need to organize the cabinet. So you're currently sitting on our new little piece of furniture that husband put together. He's an excellent husband.
Excellent.
So that's what we did today.
That's good.
And then I went and bought, all sorts of things to make stuff.
Cool. Now you're using it's a sous vide thing, isn't it?
It's not. Well, it has a sous vide function.
Okay.
It's mostly like a super powerful blender that also heats up.
Ah.
So,
Yeah.
so what I've made is a very unappetizing looking green stock paste with all our vegetables like cast offs from the last week. That
Yeah.
you know, you can add in as a master stock kind of. Yeah. So hopefully that'll be good and yeah.
Cool.
To answer Chris's question, who puts fake cupboards in an apartment? The same assholes who put fake pockets on women's clothing.
Yes, it's a conspiracy.
Yeah.
I'll show you.
Yes. Ooh,
That cupboard.
you're showing off. Yes.
Fake.
Ah, yeah.
It's literally got
okay.
stuff in it, right?
Yeah.
And also,
Okay.
like I'm tall. I'm 5'7", and I can't reach anything. Right?
Yeah.
This cupboard, I'm on my tippy toes.
Yeah.
I can't safely get anything out of that. And then this cupboard here.
What the hell? What is
I've
that?
I've got a cupboard like that. Yeah. I put tea in mine, but it's up so high.
It looks like a decently sized kitchen.
Yeah.
I'm not showing you the fact that I've left my kitchen in an absolute mess.
Look, oh, we lost her.
Oh no, we lost the signal. Hopefully she'll be back soon.
No. Yeah. I was about to say, you just saw my place, so a messy place shouldn't bug you if mine didn't. So.
Oh, well, that's because of what state mine's in. So that's I'm very non-judgmental about messy places because at some point I'm going to unpack some boxes that
you've still got a bunch of boxes.
I have dozens of boxes of stuff that haven't been unpacked. So
okay, how long ago did you move?
3 years.
Okay,
which probably means like I can just safely throw the boxes out because I haven't needed them for 3 years. Kirsten's back.
And then I hit something on my tablet that made you all
right, that cut us off. Oh, look, in line with what Kirsten was saying, look, I'll show you other side here is a kitchen. Okay, so you can see the stove. Where does it say stove? Those cupboards just above it, not cupboards. They've got vents and stuff for the stove there. And then we go here, same problem. All those ones up there, I have to use a stepladder to have them be functional. There's glassware and stuff that's not used that often up there. But if I need to get stuff out of there, need a stepladder to use them. So it's a common kitchen design, apparently.
It's the first time that I've really been like sort of done by this. Yeah. And also, like, the bathroom's not super well designed for, you know, like things drying in that space.
Right. Yep.
Because obviously, usually, you don't live here.
Yeah.
You get your like towels changed every day, so you don't notice that they're a bit wet. So. Yeah,
exactly.
And it's all
Jim's saying
all the good.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just saying, Jim's saying this in the chat, same thing. The above the range hood, it looks like cupboards, but it's just vents and shit. But yeah. Yeah, Annette's on board with that's all shitty. Why the fuck do they do it? That's all I so. See, Chris is saying he's 6'5". See, Chris, when you're on camera, I just think you're the same height as me. 5'8". you look the same height as me on a camera. That's one of the funniest things about YouTube. YouTube established this thing of people talking directly to camera. So when you're watching them, you're basically at eye level with the person. So seeing people in real life, the two biggest surprises was when they were way shorter, because you get this weird subconscious thing. They're the same height as me because I'm at eye level with them when I see them. And then you get the big surprise that some people are way shorter than you think they are, and some people are way taller than you think they are. And it's really jarring, I find. It's really weird. Annette's joining us in short ass land. Yay. Okay, cool. Yeah, but it's
I'm like averagely tall for a girl. Like in a group of girls, I'm probably one of the tallest, being 5'7". And then like on occasion there'll be
height.
Yeah.
The strangest thing is that for most of my life I was 165 centimeters, which is about 5'6", and I like last year sometime I was measured and I'd grown an inch. I was 5'7", and I don't know where that came from, but I like my height. I'm not short. I'm not tall. It's fine. Angry, I do notice you're a little bit taller than I am, but most like you're about an inch taller, but only because you've got like an inch of head extra.
It is. Like most people's foreheads stop here. Most people's foreheads stop here, and mine goes all the way up there. I have an extra inch or two. Kirsten, is it another of the big forehead program? Yeah, no, but seriously.
It's to fit in all my brains, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's the word.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, I've got a fairly decent forehead as well. Yeah. With a
I think what Abigail was saying is that your hair is
your head is
adds impressive height.
But this is, as you're saying that Mrs. Angry, she's saying, I think you're growing into that length hair now. This is my first hairstyle change in 30 fucking years. I always kept my hair short and sort of spiky, and coloured for that matter. And I've just been with lockdown and stuff. And even though now technically I can get it cut, I'm like, nah, it's growing. I'm just going to see what happens.
Yeah,
at a certain point. Yeah, we'll see where. Annette says she has a 5 head as well. But this is we've said this before with A. Yeah, it's not a 4 head, it's a 5 head. We said this joke with Aidsy before when he's here. Aidsy and I are basically exactly the same height, but if we sit down, I'm taller than him because I have stupid little stumpy limbs and a longer torso, and he has
short legs, long body.
He kind of has normal length legs and a shorter torso than me. So if we stand up, we're the same height. It balances out. But if we sit down, I'm taller. It's just
I have a shorter torso and long legs, which means I look amazing in a short skirt and heels.
Jacket. Sorry.
Nails shine like justice.
Yeah.
But if I sit down next to someone who's the same height, I'm suddenly shorter, and it's infuriating.
It's funny the way body
I have short legs and a long body, and I'd always said to husband, I have short legs and a long body, and he never believed me. He's like, that can't be a thing, because like I'll buy a t-shirt and it will be up like around my belly button rather than on my hips, and it's like, it's because one, I have big boobs, and the other is I've got a long body. Anyway, somebody else was complaining that they have a short torso and long legs, and Rob was like, oh, you're not making this up. It's like, no,
it's a thing.
Some humans
it is totally
have different shapes.
Yeah.
And every time I see, and it's usually guys, I don't know why, but when I see guys with a disgustingly long torso and tiny little legs, I'm like, geez, humans are weird. Humans are just so weirdly proportioned.
Yeah, absolutely. Grasshopper,
good evening.
How you doing?
I am good, thank you. How are you, Angry?
Hi.
Good. Chris
Hello,
said,
Abigail. How are
everyone in
you?
Australia short. No, it's not a Southern Hemisphere thing. We're just collectively short asses in this stream. So that's
And just remember that
Yeah.
they say the good things come in small packages, but so does rat poison.
yeah.
Unless you buy a shitload of rat poison.
Yeah. If you got a lot of people, I mean rats to poison. Only rats, not people. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that with the Liberal voters in this fucking suburb.
No,
I'm in the northeastern suburbs of Melbourne. There's this big strip of Liberal voting fucking seats, and I was really hoping because they got bad shook up in the state election, big swings against them, and I was hoping the same thing was going to happen in the federal election. Did it happen? Did it fuck? No, it did not. It was very disappointing. That's why I'm also not cool with people blaming Queensland for the last election, even though I don't think Labor won any votes federally. I don't know if Labor got any seats federally in Queensland.
They did not.
That's what I was saying ahead of the election. Labor were going to win because for Labor to not win, the LNP would have to do really well in Queensland, better than expected in New South Wales, better than expected in Victoria. And that's just really unlikely. One or two of them, but not, and they just did better than expected everywhere, including Victoria. And it was just like, oh, okay. So it really was a worst case scenario. Fine.
I was out for a friend's birthday on the night of the election, the last federal election, for this, unwinnable election for the Libs. And, I'm the known political tragic amongst all of my friends. So they're all like, oh, you're going to be watching the live results? I'm like, well, I'm out at a birthday party, so no. But I'll be checking the results as soon as I get home, of course. And they were like, no, curious. Can you look them up for us? And the moment that I looked them up, like that just put a tarnish on the rest of the night.
That was a bad night.
Yeah, like from the very beginning, they were out in front. And I'm like, I can't believe that the Libs are this far out in front already. And they're like, oh, it'll change. It's like very rarely in these live election results does it change when they're this far out in bloody front. Like, I cannot believe that they have got this much fucking votes for them. And yeah, like every hour or so, they'd be like, so how is it now? Keep on checking. The night just got progressively worse.
You were like, can we stop talking about it? I'm just going to put you on my toaster and do some things here. Because I need to put something else on in the Thermomix.
Yeah, that's
really the Internet of Things, isn't it?
I'm trying to make some tomato paste because I can make a liter of tomato paste for $4 or buy a tiny can of it for 90 cents. So we're trying to, use
and with homemade tomato paste, you can also adjust the seasoning, so it's way better than the tin stuff.
Exactly.
The reason why it took me a little while to come into the live stream was because I was just talking to a family member that lives up in Queensland. They themselves are a very ardent Labor supporter, but they are completely and heavily surrounded by Liberal supporters. And they can't, if they want to be friends with any of their neighbors, they can't talk politics. The moment that their neighbors find out that they're Labor voters, they just don't want to have anything to do with them. So, I knew that they would be quietly celebrating, the victory, as it were. So I just give them a call to see how it was all going, and they were like, our street is oddly quiet tonight. They were all out there celebrating and hooting and hollering when the Libs won the federal election, but very, very strangely quiet tonight. And I'm just like,
you love to see it.
Definitely.
Nothing like the sound of sore losers.
Definitely Schadenfreude. Schadenfreude.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love the new nickname, by the way, Abigail.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
Abigail was being my
Um,
tech monkey today. Look, I'm
So,
going to run out and take a picture of the really colourful computer.
cool.
Sure.
Okay, so you
I
hung out with Angry today and built his new PC, did you?
Yeah, he came over, brought his parts and his PC, and I like
Please- Please tell me it's a Ryzen system.
it is, yes.
Excellent.
Yes. It's got a 2080 Super, which was good. Like he bought the parts a few months ago, so the new graphics cards hadn't come out yet, but that's a good card.
Yeah, no, the 2080
and it's a
Super is
Ryzen 3800X.
Ooh, the Ryzen 9.
So
No, the Ryzen 9.
I think it's a 7.
Yeah, sorry, the 3900
7.
is the Ryzen 9. So Ryzen 7 with the 2080 Super, very nice.
Yeah, I do the tech stuff for a live stream of a drag king show, and the name of the show is called Kong's Kings.
Okay.
So they do a lot of like Kong's gorilla kind of imagery in some of their promos, and I just like thought, I've been a tech monkey for so long, I'm just going to be the tech monkey for the Kongs thing as a kind of a joke.
Yeah,
My mate
nice.
joke. Yeah.
My wife maintains
So,
one of the reasons why she stays with me is because of in-house tech support. So,
Yeah, well, every little bit, mate. That's,
yeah. So that's
For
a
sure.
Ryzen 7 with a 2080 Super. That's a very nice system there, Angry. It's a very nice system.
and it looks sexy. But I'm
I
not
had
sure.
2 brothers on speed dial for the tech support. Otherwise, I don't talk to them.
Oh.
Oh,
I'm going to share this picture. I'm not sure. Oh, actually,
savage.
1 second. Where are we? I'm going to download. Yes. Okay. I'm not sure that this really shows it off, but let me.
You got to take like a 5-10 second video of it to really show it off.
True, because
the
the colors cycle. Yeah.
The color cycle and the CPU fan kind of pulses a bit. And
Oh yeah, so that's the Wraith Prism cooler. And you've got the 3.
It's the stock AMD cooler that came with the
that's
CPU.
the stock on that one. That one is called the Wraith Prism. The other one are just called Wraiths because they don't have the RGB.
Sure.
Sorry, definitely geeking out right now. Sorry, my bad. Not trying to be a pedantic bastard.
Yeah.
And yeah, so you got your 3 120 full RGBs on the front. Is that a Corsair case or is no? That's not Corsair.
It's a it's thermal take.
Thermal take. Yep.
And they came with the case.
And am I looking at 16 gig of RAM there?
32.
32. Very nice.
32. Yeah.
Very nice. On a 2080
I went up to. I recommended 32 because he's doing video editing.
Yep. And what size NVMe drive are we talking there?
It doesn't have an NVMe. It has he didn't get an NVMe or a M.2 drive in the upgrade. He's got a SATA and 2 standard hard drives. So
okay, so he's at least running an SSD. That's a good thing. Yep.
Yes.
SSDs are essential in today's builds, in my opinion, to be honest.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
No, that's a very nice looking build there, Abigail. Very nice looking build.
Oh, and Lee's joining us. Hello, Lee.
Hello.
G'day, Lee. How you doing, bud?
I'm pretty good.
That's
So
good.
there is room in that case for 5 more fans.
Yes.
If you want. Like there's 3 on the side and 2 at the top that you can add if you really want.
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 fans in mind. So
Yeah. I had when I had that case, because that's my old case, I had the 3 at the front, 3 at the side, 1 at the back, and 2 at the top. So 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah.
Yep.
But now I've only got
That's not a computer.
6.
That's a fan club.
Oh, Kirsten. If you weren't so beautiful, I'd be upset. Oh, that was so beautifully delivered.
And I didn't even have my soundboard running at the time.
Yeah.
God. I should just know. I should just like it should be open up Firefox to be on stream, and straight away open up the sound bar, the sound box.
Are you running a Linux-based system there, Abigail?
No.
No, you're a Windows-based?
Windows, yeah.
I am currently on this live stream.
I tried using Linux a couple of times, and it just was never up to task. Pain in the ass to configure. The games I wanted to play wouldn't run on it. Granted, this is like 10 plus years ago, but
yeah, I have to rock dual OS.
Yeah.
I've got Windows for basic, and I've got Linux for work, because Linux is way better for remote accessing and what you can and can't do with it versus Windows. But yeah, no, I was booted into Linux earlier for work, and I'm still in Linux. So this is the first time I've been in live stream on Linux. So this is interesting.
Cool.
There we go.
Yeah.
No, it's a very, very nice little setup that you got there, Angry. Very happy with that, mate.
Yeah. And so actually, look, I'm going to go and set up my cameras because I'm going to shoot something in 4K, and then I'm going to see if I can edit in 4K, because that was the big driver. I wanted to be able to edit in 4K. So
I don't see why not. It's still like that.
Well, 32 gig of RAM is definitely going to help with that, but the 2080 Super can certainly handle it. Did you get what is it, the creator driver for NVIDIA, which gives it slightly better things with video rendering, or?
I didn't do anything in software. I just did the hardware.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's up to Angry to do.
Yeah, fair enough. Oh,
yeah.
Goodness.
I did suggest that he install those drivers just before. So did someone else.
Well, I just had my first order that you might find interesting, Abigail, through one of my clients. They've just done an order for one of the when they get released, of course, the Ryzen 5000 series with the 6900 XT on the X570 chipset motherboard. So that way
I don't know a lot about AMD, except that all I know is that they are kicking the ass out of both Intel and NVIDIA right now. They are just going gangbusters. To
say that they've kicked NVIDIA's ass isn't really correct. They've done really, really well in equaling and slightly bettering NVIDIA at most things, but they have absolutely humiliated Intel in every way.
Yeah.
They have completely annihilated them. And they did the live announcement 2 nights ago now about the new graphics cards that they've just released. And on those new graphics cards, they've got provided that you're running the newer chipset for the AMD, which is called the X570 or the B550, and you've got their new style CPU and their new graphics card, there's a setting that you can implement where the CPU is able to directly access the graphics card memory, as opposed to having to go through system memory.
That channel thing, the direct access, started with the PlayStation 5.
Yes.
And so all the console owners were like, "Oh my god, PlayStation's going to be fucking awesome! Take that, PC Master Race!" But we were like, "Well, how long do you think it's going to take?" And then Nvidia did it, and AMD, everyone's doing it now.
Yeah. No, well, I mean, it was when the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox One, or the Xbox One X, whatever the new Xbox called, when they both announced that they're going to have real-time rate. When they announced that they're going to have real-time ray tracing, and everybody was just like, "Oh, so Nvidia's building the graphics card for them." It's like, nope, That's Radeon. So you know what's going to happen with the new Radeon cards. We're going to get ray tracing with Radeon as well as NVIDIA. And a bunch of people standing there going, oh, Radeon aren't going to do that. They're not going to do that. And Radeon came out and went, oh, by the way, real-time ray tracing, and it's better than NVIDIA's. So
yeah, that's so true.
So yeah, no, I'm very much looking forward to doing this build for my client. It's they drop the CPUs and the video cards. I think it's the 17th of November in Australia, the 17th or 18th of November. And yeah, I can't wait to do this build. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm kind of like because when I bought all the parts for my computer, AMD was just catching up to Intel. I have a 9th gen i7, so it's the 9700K. I almost bought the i9, but there was no advantage between the i7 and the i9 at the time.
Unless you're like a hardcore gamer, there is no real difference.
Yeah. So yeah, then like a couple of months later, the 10th gen came out, and then AMD's just like gone gangbusters, and I'm kind of regretting buying what I bought, but I would have had to wait a few months, and like that's the thing about buying PCs. Like, how long do you want to wait? You just bite the bullet and do it. You know,
it's always going to be a case of a few months from now it's going to be obsolete, because that's just the way that it is with PC. So you make the best choice that you can at the time, and always build to your needs as opposed to what you think is like, you know, the best of the best out there. I had an 8700K. But with my new clients, I needed to run a few more virtual machines, and the 8700K just did not have the processing grunt for that amount of virtual machines. So I needed to upgrade. When it came to that, I was seriously considering between the Ryzen 7 and the Ryzen 9, and I ended up deciding on the Ryzen 9 because... Sorry, go ahead.
If you for virtual machines, a Threadripper would just like...
Yes. A Threadripper. A Threadripper was definitely on the cards, but not for that price. I was looking at the better part of like about $2,500-$2,600 for the Threadripper CPU, motherboard, and RAM, where I got my entire system for just under $3,000. That's CPU, motherboard, RAM, and video card. So it just came down to monetary constraints at that point. But also, I'm running all of the virtual machines. Like, I've got virtual machines running right now as we're talking, and I can still do everything else that I need, and I've still got plenty of system resources left. So, like the
what do you use your VMs for?
Basically for network monitoring, more than anything else. They sit there on a consistent connection to my remote clients and look for any kind of network hiccup or any kind of alert about any of the systems that are on the network.
An entire VM for that?
I find it easier to run a VM because I've got that running on 4 or 5 or 6 different sites at any given time. So I just find it easy just to set up those VMs and just have them all running, and they can push through a warning in front of my face while I'm doing something else if anything goes wrong. And it's just because of my personal experience of setting up VMs in the past. It just worked. That's what's worked best for me. So I know that there's 1,000,005 other ways out there to do it, and some of them may be better or whatever, but this is what I'm used to and what I'm comfortable with. So here I am.
If it works for you. If it works, so it like meets the customer's needs, and you know what you're doing, and why change things?
Well, I mean, that's like all of the different ways. Oh, there's Kirsten's husband.
Say hi.
We finally get to see Kirsten's husband.
He's real.
Yep. Up, here he comes. Here he comes. Oh no, he's walking away. No, he doesn't want to have anything to do with this. Well, love you too, Queen Kirsten husband.
does not want anything to do with this. He's very confused.
Well,
Just wave to the people, brother.
well, we've all seen him now. We know he's.
There we go. That's it. That's all you
Well,
get.
we've seen him now, and
He's real.
and now that we know he's real, he can't get away from that. So. Yeah, no. When it comes to computers and doing all of these things, there's always somebody out there with an opinion about the way that you should be doing it, and they always think that their way is better than your way or anything like that. And I can't stand that sort of elitist, fuckist attitude. I've always, God, ever since I got into computers, I've always said, whatever the hell works for you. When I was doing a build for a client a while ago, his best mate came over to pick up the PC with him, and his best mate was literally judging him because he didn't want RGB in his computer. He didn't care about RGB.
Oh, God.
Like he said, his computer sits down in this tiny little alcove underneath his desk, and you can't really see it. And, he doesn't care about all of the light up stuff. He just wants the computer to be fast and reliable and powerful and all of that sort of stuff. So he didn't want RGB. Yep. So I didn't, I made sure that the RAM wasn't RGB because it knocked $20 off the price. The case just had normal fans inside of it as opposed to RGB because it knocked $20 off the price. And we're talking about a Ryzen 9 3950X machine. We're talking about a 2080 Ti and 32 gig of 3600 RAM. We are not talking about a little basic machine. We're talking about a proper bloody machine. And his mate was like, yeah, but it's shit because it doesn't have RGB. And I'm like, you pretentious bastard.
We all hate those pretentious people.
That's so elitist.
Yeah, they were just like, oh, but you need RGB, you need to show it off. And it's like, no, he really doesn't. The moment that he hops in to play whatever game it is that he wants to play or do his productivity workload, the moment that the computer is able to do it either buttery smooth inside of the game or, cheers to Kirsten's husband, or it... it does the productivity in a shorter span or more efficiently than his previous workstation did. That's all of the proof of the pudding that you need. The rest of it about being RGB, that's just being a wanker. And as somebody with a full RGB system, I still say it's a complete thing about wank. It really is. When people come over and see my system...
It's showy.
It is.
I mean, it's good to look at and,
Yep.
But...
It makes it pretty.
It
serves no purpose than to make it pretty. And you can't... Anybody that says otherwise is trying to sell you something. I'm sorry, but they are.
It's like anyone beautifies anything, like cars with light strips underneath and why does anyone do anything like that?
Although I still say that if your car's red, it goes faster. It's just a thing, okay?
That's just fact.
Yeah. And if you've got racing strips, no. My two favorite colors all of my life have been red and black. Always been my favorite colors. And when I bought my new car earlier this year, I finally had a choice of a color on my car. I finally had the choice, and I'm like, red, yeah. So I now have a red car. I'm very happy, and red makes it go faster as far as I'm concerned. So, I don't care. I don't care the fact that.
I'm not going to argue with that logic.
Yep. Just because it goes against everything to do with physics, I don't care. It's red, therefore it goes faster.
Technically, red has less energy of the visible spectrum.
Yes.
By the way, yeah. Blue has more energy.
As a keen telescope user, believe me, I'm very familiar with redshift. So
fair enough.
I love my telescope. Oh man, it's broken at the moment.
I live in the heart of Melbourne. I am lucky to see Venus.
I am very happy that I live I am very happy that I live out regional-ish Australia in that there's not too much light pollution. But if I travel about an hour and a half away from here to a place called Razorback Mountain, which is very close to a known suburb in New South Wales called Picton, you're right up the top of a pretty tall mountain. And that is a very favorite place of all of the amateur astronomers around this area to go and set up your telescopes out there, because you're right up the top. There's no trees blocking your view and all of that sort of stuff, and you get some really good viewing angles out there. It was out there that I was actually just able to pick up Uranus with my telescope. And with an amateur telescope, that's a pretty good achievement, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, got no chance of seeing Neptune with it. I angled it towards Neptune, but I couldn't even get any kind of light shift to say that was Neptune, unfortunately. But just this tiny little dot in the view scope was Uranus, and it was just slightly green.
Cool.
So was very happy with that.
Hey,
but it is
achievement unlocked.
Yeah. Look, its resolution is high enough that you can actually see the Cassini division in the rings of Saturn.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah. You can see the bands on Jupiter in real time.
Yeah.
And you know that and watching Ganymede, Callisto, Io, and Europa in real time as well has always been absolutely awesome. Sorry, geeking out about my telescope. It's currently broken, which gives me a sad.
I 100% wish I could use a telescope, or even just owned one for display. Like, 1000% with you there.
Hopefully in a couple of weeks I get my telescope fixed, depending on how much it's going to cost me. But I tell you what, if my telescope's fixed and you're over in New South Wales, come and stay at my place one night. I promise to set it up if we've got a good thing going on. All right. Cool. And yeah, actually, no, I'll take you up to Razorback so that way we can actually do some proper stargazing.
Sounds good. I would 100% love that.
Hey, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Yeah. Hey, Chris.
Hi.
Angry, without the glasses, you don't look right.
Yep, and I can't see right either.
Can't see anything. Blind.
Can't see anything. I just got to go get my glasses. I forgot I didn't have them on.
You ready for this?
You don't look right.
I just look tired.
A little bit, but it
Okay.
takes away the sexy librarian look, though.
Oh, I love the sexy librarian look.
You pull it off. You pull it off. Yeah.
So
That's funny.
4 years ago, I got my eyes lasered, so I don't need glasses anymore. And the first thing that husband said to me when I came home after they'd taken the eye shields off and you stopped looking hideous, he's like, "Can I have my other wife back?"
Yeah.
Oh, we paid $4,000 for this wife. This is the one you're getting.
Yikes.
So he came out of hibernation to make me a cocktail because he's a good husband.
Yeah, no, I had to pay $11,000 for my eyes because I had cataracts. And yeah, trying to wait on the public thing for that was going to be years before I even got one eye done, let alone the other. And it got to the point that I couldn't drive. It was that bad. So thanks to my dad, may he forever rest in peace, he lent me the money that was required to get my eyes done. And yeah, with the artificial lenses that they put in my eyes, they're for all intents and purposes bifocal lenses that are permanently in my eyes. And with those, I can see fairly good in both directions, but unfortunately glasses can't correct the rest of it for me because artificial lenses. So basically what I've got is what I've got till the day I die.
Okay.
Unless of course I suffer from macular degeneration or something like that, which let's hope never happens.
I like my glasses too much. I like them too much. I never did contacts, and my mom did get LASIK a couple of years ago, but she, because of her age, she has to have reading glasses, which I'm all like, well, then what was the point of LASIK?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, unless I need it for a health reason, I'm going to keep my glasses because I look good with them on. I look like Clark.
Yeah.
Glasses are one of those. Glasses? Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go on.
No,
for the
please.
longest time, I didn't. for the longest time I didn't need glasses, and it was only until I hit, I'm going to say, like late 30s, that like I noticed that things were starting to get blurry, and I'm like, wait, do I need glasses? Yes, because I knew I would rock that look.
Without going into specific detail, I am still very upset with you, Abigail, that you look younger than me. Okay, I am still very upset with you on that one.
So
I get that a lot.
after I got laser eye surgery, about a month later, my husband went to the optometrist for the first time in his life, and he did his eye test, and the lady was like, "Oh, you really should not have been driving. You're like right on the line. Absolutely needed to get glasses." So a month after I stopped wearing glasses, he had to wear glasses. So there's always one of us in the family that's got glasses on.
That's good. We got to keep the.
I think he looks really cute with glasses, but he doesn't like them.
That's funny.
Yeah, no, a good friend of mine is about to go out and get LASIK eye surgery, and it's going to there's going to be an adjustment period of getting used to seeing him without glasses. I've known him for almost 12 years, and he's always worn glasses, and yeah, it's there's going to be a period of adjustment of kind of going, who are you? You know.
I think I've had glasses since second grade. So, like, if I ever didn't wear glasses, I wouldn't recognize myself for I would be like, I'd have to like take the lenses out of my glasses and just keep wearing them.
Like, it's not something that you want to be the main focal point on somebody when you meet them and you get to know them is like, this person wears glasses, but you do notice it whether you want to or not. If that person sits down in front of you without glasses on, all of a sudden, you're kind of like, hang on, there's something.
It's kind of shocking. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, there's this mental image that you've got of the person, and the mental image and the person sitting in front of you, there's that clash, and you kind of like, hang on a second, and you immediately know it's always because they're not wearing glasses.
Yeah, it was so weird to see my mom without glasses after she had her surgery. It was just, it took me years to be like for that mental image to change. Like, I would say, like, wear your glasses. Oh, that's right.
Oh, get the block of ice out of that cup there, Angry. We just heard this gigantic crack, and look at this thing.
Is that
magical invisible eyes?
Oh yeah, that's it.
It will be invisible.
That's the invisible eye.
So I'm going to build this in a glass because it's a Harvey wall banger, which is pretty simple. But I'm going to turn my mic off so you can keep talking, and I'm not just talking dribble over the top of you. So this probably won't take long. I'll be back in 10 minutes.
You have
no worries at all.
I think that's it. He's gone now.
I'm going to show her that picture later.
Yeah, please do. I've had people flat out refuse to believe it as well until I showed them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's absolutely amazing. Cyber hugs on that one, Dylan. Cyber hugs. That's awesome.
Even on my driver's license, I look stupid young. And I'm not complaining at all.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. My goddaughter, my youngest of my goddaughters, who is turning 12 this year, about 2 years ago, I think it was, and Mum turned around and said, "How old do you think Uncle Shannon is?" And she looked at me puzzledly, like, a little bit puzzled for about 5 seconds, and then she went, 70?
Oh,
you
no.
little fucking son of a...
Well, wait, like... So,
yeah, young people can't judge age, though.
Yeah, no, like, I just got owned by an 11-year-old girl. That was the problem.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm curious. How old are you, Abigail? Because every time we come in here, everyone's talking about how young you look, and I have no idea what they mean.
How old do you think I am?
And to be clear, it's never polite to ask a lady's age.
I'm gonna say, you said you were in your 30s before you got glasses, so you have to at least be in your 40s, right?
Yes, correct.
Oh, well, there you go.
I am 44.
You're 44?
I am,
wow.
yes.
All right, now I'm going to load up the YouTube stream of this just so I can see the bunch of people in the chat going bullshit.
My dad before he went, he had hair down to his butt, and it was a hippie to the day he died. But like up until a couple years before he passed, he looked like he was in his early 40s, and he was like 52, 53. He was like he was like you, Abigail. He looked really young. My mom is like 63, and people think she's like 48 or 50. And so
longevity runs in my family on my dad's side.
Yeah.
Both my grandparents lived well over 90, pushing 100. Didn't quite get there, unfortunately. So yeah, and all of my dad's all my aunts and uncles on that side, they're all just like have the youth gene. So
yeah, that runs in. Yeah, my dad and my mom have that. I definitely have it because people are always shocked when I tell them I'm 31. I don't know. I think I look like I'm 31, but whatever. So
no,
good thing
the lady that raised my mother, who we called Auntie out of politeness, even though she wasn't a blood relative, is probably the toughest woman in history. She died at the ripe old age of 105. Till the day that she died, lived on a massive property in a place up the north tip of Queensland called Proserpine. She lived on a property out there with an outdoor shower, and she was like almost self-sufficient until the day that she died.
Wow.
Toughest woman I ever knew, and she was fantastically awesome human being as well. But yeah, I doubt very highly that I'll get to that age.
So I tell people that I'm 27, and sometimes they believe me, and that's the story that I'm sticking to.
Yeah, no.
I would actually believe that.
I would too.
I would actually believe you're 27.
You look pretty.
No.
I'm 35.
I believe it too.
Yeah, no, I was going to say if you told me.
Okay.
I was going to say, if you told me that you were 27, I'd look at you and go, no, I'd say about 33. So I'm glad that I was close. So, but yeah, no, where Abigail is concerned, I was completely bloody wrong. I was completely wrong. I honestly...
It's the pink hair most of the time, like, that people still think that I'm in my
Colored
20s.
hair.
Mm-hmm.
Colored hair goes a long way.
Yeah.
No,
And
also,
Shannon, you
like,
only ever see me when I'm, like, in my trash face. Like, when I'm in full, like, drag.
Trash face. Trash face. You look beautiful, you bloody idiot.
But, you know, you guys see me when I'm not in, like, proper... Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. When you get all dressed up. Yeah.
I
do look a lot younger when I...
sorry, Annette Mates just said 29 is a good age. I stayed 29 for a good part of my 30s.
Yeah. Look, I always say I'm 18 with what is it now? 26 years of experience.
There you go.
Yep.
There you go.
No, like I'm just about to hit my 42nd birthday, and I have every intention to turn around to people and going, "No, I'm 21 for the second time."
That's fair enough. Fair enough.
Yep, that's going to be my excuse. But yeah, no, when I first saw you, Abigail, I honestly thought like about 33, 34, 35. Yeah, so completely blew me away. And yeah.
Two of the things that work in my favor, actually, apart from the whole family history and genetics, is that hormone replacement therapy and transition actually kind of makes you, like, because you go through a second puberty, and it actually helps to rejuvenate you somewhat. And laser facial hair removal actually helps rejuvenate facial skin a lot too.
I didn't know that was a thing.
that is a thing. And I've never smoked.
Yeah, I don't.
Well,
the thing is, I don't
smoke
either. So
that definitely helps.
Yeah.
Rain Morandi just said in the YouTube chat, you could always shave and lose like 10 years.
Yes.
Oh my god!
I say, I'm sorry, Rain, but the last time that I shaved, my wife cried. I am not allowed to shave. When my wife and I first
She
met,
likes beard.
true story. When my wife and I first met, I was clean shaven all of the time, and stayed clean shaven. Like right up until the point that we got married, I was clean shaven. And
Yeah.
then it was about 4 or 5 years ago.
Ooh, red.
I decided to try growing mutton chops just because I wanted to see what they look like, and I can carry off mutton chops. I can actually carry them off. And my wife
Yeah.
kind of liked them. She was like, "No, those are nice. They're all right." And then she was like, "But do me a favor, just shave them once and grow in a full beard. I want to see what you look like with a full beard." And I'm like, "I'm gonna look like shit, but okay." So I grew in my full beard, and like I'm not the kind of person like a friend of mine who's no longer with us, a guy by the name of Luke. He was the guy that could shave in the morning and have a shadow by 5 o'clock that afternoon. Like
Not
he
me.
grew a beard like nothing else. It takes me months just to get to this.
I
So
can't even get to that. I can't even do it.
I am also one of those people who could grow out a beard, and I hated it so much.
oh
Hate,
goodness gracious.
Hate,
Suffer
have to
has
shave every day. It's the
Suffer has
worst.
asked, have I tried e-cigarettes? Suffer, yes, I did try e-cigarettes. They did not do a damn thing for me. I was huffing and puffing away on them to the point of feeling ill, and I still felt like a cigarette. So unfortunately, they didn't do anything
Must be
for me. The one thing
Is it
that
a
did
social
work.
thing for you then?
Oh no, it's
Or
I'm
just
just
like
I'm just pathetically addicted. There's no two ways about it. I'm just pathetically addicted. But the one thing that did help a couple of years ago, I started taking Champix, and I went from a pack a day down to one a day, and I was quite happy. But then I had a couple of small medical issues, would be the best way to say it, and that triggered some anxiety. And being on Champix, if you're somebody who suffers from anxiety like I do, it can make it a million times
Yeah, my
worse.
mom's on that.
And I explained to my doctor what was happening with my anxiety, and my doctor was just like, drop the Champix until we got on top of this with these levels of anxiety. Drop the Champix, and within 2 days of dropping the Champix, I was back up to 2 packs a day. Now that I am on top of all of those medical issues, with the exception now, I've got to go out and see a rheumatologist. I've got shocking rheumatoid arthritis in my hands and arms. I need to go out and see a rheumatologist. And I've got an appointment on the 11th of November. And I've got another prescription for Champix, but the doctor has said, do not start taking Champix until you see your rheumatologist, because the medication that they give you may have bad interactions and whatnot. So explain to your rheumatologist that you want to take Champix, and they'll try and figure out a thing around that. So hopefully by the end of November, coming into December, because you don't quit smoking the moment that you take on Champix, you quit over time. So hopefully by about Christmas time, I'm hoping I will be not smoking anymore and working towards quitting permanently. That is my hope. Maybe the e-ciggy needs to have some nicotine, then reduce dosage over time. That's from Jimtet 1988. That's what I was using, Jimtet. It was a vape with liquid that I got from New Zealand that had nicotine in it, and yeah, that unfortunately didn't do very well. Rain, you moved away from how and why your wife cried. No, Rain, I didn't move away. As a joke, I was out at a friend's place, and we were talking about beards, and I explained how my wife absolutely loved my beard, and my friends turned around to me and went, "Wouldn't it be hilarious if you just rocked up home baby-faced again?" And I went, "You know what?
Funny.
It actually really would be very funny. So let's do that." And probably went ahead and shaved right down to babyface again, and walked in, and Eleanor's like, she was sitting on the lounge with a mobile phone like this, and I'm like, "Hey, sweetheart," and she does this. She goes, "Hi." What the fuck?
Oh wow, that's funny. That is
hilarious. Well, you're clean shaven ish in your profile picture on Facebook. So
yeah,
when I saw that, I did not recognize you at all.
Yeah, no, it's the beard is still a relatively recent phenomenon for me, and as you can see, I've got a bit of grey in the beard down here as well, and so Eleanor loves to call me her silver fox. which I'm really not, but she loves to say it regardless.
Oh, man.
But
if I start getting gray hairs, I'm gonna immediately start using dye. I can't. I'll dye.
No. I want the full grey Gandalf beard going on. They look freaking awesome.
No way, not for me.
They look freaking awesome. Like Angry's beard is mostly grey, and it really suits him.
Well, that's it.
Full Gandalf. I'm sure that's an actual beard style somewhere.
Most likely.
Sure.
Most likely.
Like the name of a legitimate style.
Yeah, Suffer, I will be. Yeah, Suffer says, "Yay, go Grasshopper!" Thank you, Suffer. Thank you very much for the support. I really hope that I am successful. Really, really do hope that I am successful. So Rain says, "I believe it was in August when I went swimming with a lady friend at a public pool. I could not recognize her without her glasses. When she sat beside me, I was like, 'Sorry, I'm waiting for someone.'"
Oh my god, yeah. If I don't have my glasses on, people have no idea who I am. They're shocked. Or when I change my glasses. Oh my god! Last time I changed my glasses, my friend Jesse, because what'll happen is like I'll get a pair of glasses and I'll keep that exact pair for like a decade because I like them. And then recently I changed from a Clark Kent style to these like kind of gray versions that I have now currently. And I kind of want to go back to Clark Kent soon. I miss it, but he saw me for the first time and he was just like, "Hey Chris," he's like, "What happened to you?" I'm like, "They're gray glasses. You don't like them?" No, they look fine. It's just you've had the same glasses for 7 years.
I think I've actually still got my old pair of glasses in my sock drawer. Would you like to see what I look like with glasses?
Yes, that would be awesome.
Yes.
All right, give me a second. I'll go find them. I'll be right back.
Okay. Oh man. I watched.
I'm currently looking for a picture of me with glasses on.
Oh, awesome! I watched Batman vs Superman, the extended Snyder cut version of that film. First, it was a way better movie.
For sure.
I literally for the first 15 minutes, I was just like, "Where was this film? This is fucking awesome." But anyway, and the special features of that, they were showing that Batman and Superman, Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck are both shorter than me, and I was just all like, "Right." That's kind of smooth.
Funny story. Henry Cavill went to Times Square in New York, where there was a.
Oh my goodness, those look great on you.
That's literally me on the way to get my eyes lasered. So that's the very last picture of me with glasses on.
Oh,
Aw.
that is an
They look
amazing
cute
look.
on you. You
And
got
I am
glasses.
super thirsty now.
This is me after the surgery.
Oh, you look grumpy as hell.
The caption says, "Send nuggets."
That's funny.
That's all I wanted. I wanted chicken nuggets and broccoli gratin.
Alrighty,
Yeah.
you ready to see how I look with glasses?
Okay.
Yes.
Here we go.
These were the glasses that I wore for many years.
Wow, you just got 50% smarter.
Where did Grasshopper go? Oh my god!
Where'd the guy go?
It's amazing how blurry things are with these glasses on
Oh
now.
yeah, I bet.
But I absolutely needed these when I first had them
Me?
because I couldn't see
Put
shit
your
without
glasses back on. Put them back
But
on.
yeah.
There you go.
them. So I'm already in the process of getting a headache from wearing these right now.
Oh yeah, you can.
Oh.
Yeah.
You don't want
But
that.
yeah, that's what I look like with my glasses.
You look great with glasses.
They suited me better when I was
Everyone
clean
looks great. Everyone looks great with glasses on. It's just
No.
Oh,
There are
why?
some people. There are some people out there that need to get whacked with the fashion stick for the glasses that they choose.
That is true.
Oh well, yeah,
Or
but
J.K. Rowling.
Sure, but
J.K. Rowling needs to
don't
just get
take
whacked with a
story.
fucking stick.
It's me and
Oh,
my
look at this.
sister
yeah.
both wearing glasses,
Oh wow.
so it runs in the family.
Rain Morandi says, now I believe you're in IT. Is that because I just wore my glasses, Rain?
Yeah. You keep talking about working with computers. I'm like, I don't know, man. You get no glasses on, so.
Kirsten, if you keep sharing photos of you and or your sister with glasses on, I'm going to have to go to my bedroom for a little bit because that is fucking gorgeous. And I have all the lesbian thirst now.
So, Abigail, to quote Firefly, you'll be in your bunk.
Yeah, I'll just be in my bunk.
I'll be in my bunk.
If anyone wants me, I'll be in my bunk.
Man. Even though Adam Baldwin is an asshole, gotta love Jane.
He's a dick nugget. Yeah.
Yeah, it's similar to tonight's topic. Like Sean Connery give us some really great movies, some great roles and stuff like that. But as a person, there was a lot to be desired.
Yeah. You never. You got to remember that the work is always different from the person.
Oh, always. Yeah, 100%.
Now, sometimes the work and the person are one, but that's very rare.
Oh, I mean, depending on what kind of character they're putting on, I guess.
Yeah.
Like John Noble.
John Noble.
Is he from the UK?
Yeah, is he the
No,
Canadian?
he's Australian.
Hold on,
Okay.
I'll Google
I
him.
think I know who you're talking about. I don't know anything about him, so.
Oh, right. Yeah. I've seen him around the traps. He's one of those been in everything, but never in like a massively front role type thing. Australian actor and theatre director of more than 80 plays. He is also known for his roles as Dr. Walter Bishop in the US
My
Fox
favourite.
science fiction television series Fringe, and Henry Parrish
favourite.
in the Fox
Oh,
action
I know
horror
who he
series
is.
Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah, he's one of
Was he the steward of Gondor as well?
Let's see. Noble started
Denethor.
a scientist in the
I
television
love
series.
Journey people. People like that
let's
are
see.
like a million things.
Filmography. So we're going back as far as 1988 here. He was in The Dreaming,
Yeah.
A Sting in the Tail, Call Me Mr. Brown, The Nostradamus Kid, The Monkey's Mask, The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers
Yeah.
as
He was
Denethor,
Denethor, yeah.
The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, Fracture, One Night with the King, Running Scared, Voodoo Lagoon, Risen, The Last Airbender as the Dragon Spirit, Superman Unbound as Brainiac, The Mule as Pat Shepard, and in television he was in Police Rescue, Time Tracks, Big Sky, Water Rats, All Saints, Airtight, Tales of the South Seas, Virtual Nightmare, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's The Lost World, The Bill, Home and Away, Young Lions, Stingers, The Outsider, The Mystery of Natalie Wood, Supervire, Stargate SG-1 as Murik. Oh, that was him. Okay. Journeyman, The Unit, 24.
And Fringe.
Pirate Islands, The Lost Treasure of Fiji, Fringe, Dark Matters, Twisted But True, Transformers
It's like
Prime.
one of my favourite characters in Fringe, apart from Peter Bishop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Good
I
Life.
don't know who we're actually talking about. Who are we talking about?
John
Noble.
John Noble.
Yeah. A guy that's been in everything.
Denethor, the steward of Gondor.
Oh, right. Yes. Okay. Now
There's
I know.
a lot of actors like that have been in like hundreds of projects. They have the best stories. There's this comedian, Jim Gaffigan, from my hometown. He's been in like 50 comedic movies, and he's had all these specials and TV shows and everything. And it's just, that guy has met like everybody you've ever wanted to meet in your life. He's met them. And it's just, that to me is so cool. That's the best career to have.
Rain Morandi and Megalich both recognized him from Fringe, and Rain Morandi's also said fans even started a Give John Noble an Emmy for Fringe petition. And he also says that Sean Bean is a great example. He's been everywhere, but nobody knows him.
Yeah. There's I just realized because I was looking up, what does he look like? What is it? John Noble, of course, he was just in The Boys as Butcher's really shitty father.
I've just watched the third episode of The Boys. I haven't seen any of it yet. Just watched the third episode. The part of it that has absolutely blown me away that I love, the guy that plays Homelander was the main guy in Banshee.
Yes, he's a New Zealander as well.
Yeah, love him.
Wow.
Absolutely love him. So That I'm very, very happy with that. No, Angry, you missed the big reveal of what I used to look like without glasses. With glasses, rather.
Oh well.
I still have them sitting here. Would you like to see what I look like with glasses?
Oh, definitely.
All right, here we go. This is what I used to look like with glasses.
All right.
See, now he looks like he works with computers.
Yeah, according to Rain, now he believes that I work in IT because of the glasses.
Yeah. How I understand.
Yeah, without the glasses, apparently I don't work in IT. I'm curious what I'd do for a living if I didn't work in IT without glasses, though. If you could tell me that, Rain, I'm very curious.
Yeah.
And if it's anything like Gigolo, then like people pay me to leave them
Gas
alone.
station
It's a
attendant.
completely different thing.
You remind me of a gas station attendant or a guy that works at like a video store.
Hey, you can laugh as much as you want, but I worked as a gas station attendant.
It's a
All
fun
right.
job. Nothing wrong with that.
In the
noble
global
job.
financial crunch. Yeah, in the global financial crunch, I lost my job at one of the largest windscreen producers in Australia, a place called Windscreens O'Brien. I lost my job there as the IT guy. No IT places were hiring during the GFC. I had to get a job, and that I ended up working for a BP at Seven Hills. On the cash register, and did that for almost a year until I got myself another job in IT.
Yeah.
So
Good on you.
let's see. Rain fans.
I'm reading this book.
Yeah, you're reading that book, are you, huh?
Mega Leech says that nobody knows who Sean Bean is because he always dies. Suffer says for some reason I've been thinking of Ross Noble. Annette Mates, that works for me. You're definitely a roadie.
That's who I thought of, Ross Noble.
Yeah.
Actually, no, Ross, I'd say you're a sound engineer. A sound engineer. Okay.
Yeah, do you know what? You do look like a sound engineer, actually, because all the sound engineers I know, they have that beard that you have. And they have that voice, and they just sit there and they're like, look, listen to me, all right? You can't plug that cable into that thing, because if you plug that, and they just go on for an hour, and you're just like, can you just fucking get done?
And the best part is, the person that's called Tank Monkey knows way more about sound engineering than the guy known as Grasshopper, who can out-geek her on the latest, greatest tech out there. So
it's a good mix. It's a good mix.
It's a good mix. It's a good mix.
When I was working for IINet, 90% of the issues in tech support were resolved by restarting the modem. It was hilarious.
The first thing I do when I have internet problems.
It is the
restart the modem.
Yep.
9 times out of 10, it's not the problem though. It's with the ISP. They always wanted me to go through the routine, and I'm like, oh no, I've done the routine. I've worked as a system administrator. I know what I'm talking about, and it's just there's no point.
Management.
Yeah. There was a meme that went around a while ago that I found quite hilarious, and it was a guy going for an interview as an IT person, and they're like, okay, so what's the first thing that you try? And he's like, have you tried turning it on and off again? Okay, what's the second thing that you try? Are you sure that it's plugged in? And if you try turning it on and off again, yep, that's good. All right, and if all of that fails, what do you do? He goes, I go to Google. You got the job.
Yeah. I saw someone who's been working as a programmer for years, and it was one of those what people think I do and what I actually do, except they did it as a TikTok. And she's sitting there and she's got because she's got the mechanical keyboard and the RGBs and stuff, so her workstation looks really cool. And she goes, what people think I do? And she's madly tapping away at the keyboard and codes zooming by on the screen. And she goes, and then it's what I actually do. And it's staring at a screen going, the fuck? And then and then typing the problem into Stack Overflow.
Stack Overflow. Yep.
Yes.
I was about to mention
copying and pasting the code into their code, and then running it, and works, and going, okay.
Yeah. All of a sudden it works in Stack Overflow. Yeah.
That's funny.
Saved my ass so many times.
Whoever it was that invented Stack Overflow, I give him a big sloppy kiss. It's the best thing ever.
Yeah. I would suck their dick. I owe them so much.
Yeah. I think it was a guy called Joel Spolsky, who I used to read his blog. He was very successful at Microsoft for years, and then he went and started his own consultancy. And he went and on his blog, I'm sure it was him, just said on his blog one day, Google fucking sucks for tech answers because everyone can say, well, what I need is a tech forum where everyone goes in and they give suggestions and you vote up good ideas and vote down bad ideas. And it became Stack Overflow. I'm sure it was him.
If his
Could
name,
look it up, but I'm sure it was him.
that's my brother's name. I can't suck his dick. Sorry, Joel.
No, it's all over.
Also, I'm totes gay, so...
Yeah, so there's that too, yeah.
Suffer has asked, Lee, did you work for IINet before the TPG takeover?
Yes, I did, and then I quit just before the TPG takeover because they were like, "But why would you quit?" And I'm like, "You suck." Because I worked.
They were my first
Perth,
ISP.
I loved it. And then I worked in Melbourne.
Yeah, look,
and then it started.
They are dirt cheap for a reason. They suck.
Ray Moretti
if you
says,
have to
I
call
have
tech support. Then
best of luck. Yeah, best of luck.
Yeah.
Ray Morandi says, I have a batch file on my desktop with the three main IP three IP config commands. If that fails, I default to restarting the router. Release, flush, and renew. Yep. And NetMates.
Yes.
Yep. And NetMates, I'm not even a geek and I've heard of Stack Overflow before. Yeah, that's because anybody with like any form of technical background, if you've never gone to Stack Overflow before, then you've never properly worked in IT, especially in networking.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't care how good you are, you still use Stack Overflow. It's impossible to know everything.
I honestly learned most of what I know about Cisco programming through reading posts on Stack Overflow. My TAFE course and the Cisco certification course that I didn't teach me anywhere near as much as what I learned in Stack Overflow.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, one of my customers.
I never actually took the Cisco exam because I didn't actually learn anything in the class. I mostly just flirted with boys.
Oh yeah.
You didn't have to take the exam to pass the course at uni. You just had to take class and pass enough of the assignments. So obviously I didn't do any of the assignments, so I couldn't take the exam.
All right. Well, I just noticed it's gone 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Even though Tuesday's a public holiday, tomorrow's a work day for me, and some a-holes have scheduled a couple meetings for tomorrow, so I actually have to go.
What the fuck?
I have to get going.
So. Just quickly.
Yes.
When I had a customer when I was working for INET, they called up saying to me, well, first thing I tried was asking Reddit my IT issue, and then they told me to go kill myself. I'm thinking, well, that's what you get for Reddit.
Yeah, that's technical advice from Reddit. Yes, yeah.
Don't ever go to Reddit for fucking tech advice. You don't go to Reddit for advice. I don't even
go to Reddit for anything. I don't go to Reddit for anything because
the only part of Reddit that I used to enjoy going to were there was a forum on Reddit that was to do with explaining to idiots what rape culture actually is, explaining to idiots what third wave feminism was actually about, and about various experiences and the way that they're able to describe things. I found that to be very helpful. That's the only part of Reddit that I've ever enjoyed. The rest of it is just an absolute fucking trash fire for the most part. Yeah. Hey Nettie, how you doing?
Hi
beautiful?
Nettie. Good night, Nettie.
Good night.
Night, Ingrid.
Good night.